Good evening. Welcome to the Johnny Cleveland podcast. If you are watching on Facebook, you just don't see me. You see our guest co-hosts. There they are, Matt and Mariah. How are you?
Hello.
You're very loud.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's good.
We are great. We're doing well here in Seattle.
Matt, thank you for coming on air too.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for.
It's always nice to have two smiling faces instead of just one. So there's lots to talk about. You guys, I talk about you all the time on the various podcasts and say how we're always looking forward to you guys coming on, and you guys have been doing some more adventures, and I thought you could talk a little bit about that. And of course, there's a lot of forest fires going on. It seems like you can fill us in on what you're seeing there in the Seattle area.
Yeah.
And on my previous podcast this evening, I actually shared my predictions for the Cleveland Browns this year with my bold predictions. So I thought it would be fun for me to throw out the games to you, and you guys can kind of make your own predictions as well. Okay. And and see if your record, my record, are the same. Probably not. I have a feeling that you might have some different outcomes.
Well, what's your projected wins at?
Right now, I predict. Well, we'll get to that later. I want to keep people in suspense.
Okay. First, we gotta fill you in on Matt and Mo out in Seattle.
Let me do some. I'm just going to put this on this. I've got some banners here. I thought we'd show everybody. There's our J Cleveland Pod on our Facebook and Twitter. And what else can we show you? Oh, that's our email, jclevelandpod@gmail.com. So thank you for joining the show. Good. It's great to see, man. It's just so good to see you guys. People are used to hearing your stories, but now they get to see you in person.
Here we are.
So tell me about your latest adventures. You guys, I heard, went to Mount Rainier?
Yes. So just this past Monday on Labor Day, we woke up at 5 a.m. and drove out to Mount Rainier National Park to do the Skyline Trail hike.
Okay.
6 miles. It's like 1,700 feet elevation gain. It's a little steep at the start. Amazing. So beautiful. You get right up next to the base of Mount Rainier. There's lots of wildlife. You can see surrounding. It's called the Skyline Trail because you can see the skyline in all the directions. You see
the other volcanoes.
You see in mountains. I don't know if they're all volcanoes.
Mount Adams.
You see Mount St. Helens.
Mount St. Helens.
You see how it's not okay. It's just like sad.
About Mount St. Helens?
Mount Hood poking out.
Yes.
On the very top of the clouds and stuff, you could see Mount Hood in Oregon, near Portland.
Wow.
It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That was a good hike. I recommend it to anybody coming out here. And we just missed peak wildflower season, but there were still some wildflowers out there. They smelled heavenly, and they were pretty.
It's better than your new apartment and the cats. And
a bit better than the.
Matt, how are you doing with that?
All right.
If people don't, you want to explain to people what's you don't have to, but.
Yes, Matt has cat allergies. Previous tenants had cats. We're going through an ordeal. Might have to move apartments in the same building to an all-wood floor.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, we just want you to be healthy, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
It's very important to all of us.
And with the wildfires going on right now, I mean, that's also not so.
They were showing some photos of the 49ers football team playing today. Bad. Yeah, and that they had that aura, that kind of that orange, kind of brownish glow.
We haven't really experienced the orangeness ourselves here in Seattle, but when I woke up yesterday morning, there was a heavy, like, brown tint on the horizon in all directions, and it's just, like, scary, and, I mean, I just, the fires are just a little out of control, and I haven't lived somewhere where that's, been an issue really in my life. Kansas that doesn't
Right.
really have wildfires, and New York was always fine. So it's an interesting ordeal. It makes us respect the environment a lot.
When we went on that trip out that
summer,
when you were a senior going to be going to college, I think we went out west through New Mexico, Arizona, California, and we stopped in Flagstaff. Do you remember that stop there?
I normally don't get asthma in everyday life. It's usually just sports related, but I had to take my inhaler because I could not breathe. The air was so smoky from the wildfires there. So hopefully they'll, get it under control.
No side effects right now. Everyone's staying healthy.
Yeah. The air index is really bad. We were going to go play tennis last couple of nights, but it's like, is it worth it?
Did you go, Matt, and play tennis the other night?
No, I didn't end up going. It was pretty nasty outside. I started getting a runny nose and sneezing. Going out there.
Okay. Well, okay. So, any more adventures on the horizon for the two of you? Or are you looking
Well, we were actually hoping to go backpacking through the North Cascade Mountains.
Oh, okay.
We got some new sleeping bags from REI. Sorry, Laura and LL Bean.
By the way, my wife Laura works for LL Bean, so that's
We have a great tent from there.
Yes.
And our boots.
That's right. The boots are always the best.
We got some sleeping bags that are for 15-degree Fahrenheit weather, and we were like, let's go up in the mountains and camp overnight, backpack to our destination. We're a bit intimidated. We haven't done that yet, but we're hoping to do that in the next couple of weekends.
Okay.
With the wildfires, we're a little unsure at this point, but that's something we really want to get done, is to do an overnight trip. Just everything in our backpacks, hiking in the mountains.
Oh, very good. Well, you guys are certainly the adventurous type, so we'll be anxious to hear more about that adventure soon to come, right?
Well, hopefully we'll get it done here soon.
Yeah. Any changes with your works now? I mean, everything with the pandemic, and we're still working from, Matt, you're still working?
Work from home till middle of January.
Okay. And Mariah, you work at a lab, right?
We actually, at Reach Bio, my small biotech company that I work for, we have actually started to, get some blood samples coming through that have been COVID-19 positive, and running we do a lot of tests on kind of the cells that are in your blood to see what that's looking like. So that's pretty exciting to get involved with that. So we haven't done too much, but we're starting to get more involved with it, and hopefully, make somewhat of a small impact. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's great. So you guys are out in Seattle. Have you been following the football, the Seattle, the Seahawks? You're not becoming Seahawk fans, are you, or are you?
I think Russell Wilson's good.
I think I picked him up in one of my fantasy league teams.
I like him because he's married to Sierra.
Oh, okay. Hey, did you guys participate in our draft, or did you put it on auto draft?
Well, we're definitely a part of the draft, but I think it was autoed.
Yeah.
I haven't really checked it yet. I don't know who my.
What did Lisa end up doing out there in Australia? Did she join, or did she just auto pick?
I think so. I think we all got some auto teams this season.
Okay. So if Nicole and Sean, I know that they're maybe watching this podcast or the broadcast. They live out there in Seattle too, and so we'll see how that all turns out. I think they were on during the draft, and I think I got Russell Wilson in that draft.
Dang it! I wish I had.
I think I think Nicole was upset. Yeah. What? Tom Brady? Boo! He's down in Tampa Bay now. We don't like him. He's not the greatest of all time either. So, you think he is?
I don't know enough about football to have.
Matt, you're a football guy.
Yeah, Matt. What's your opinion? Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
Yeah, Tom Brady is, just to be controversial.
Oh, stop. No.
Late gate.
All right, so I've been going through my Browns apparel in the closet this afternoon because the Browns are starting their season on Sunday, and I discovered I have a lot of Cleveland Browns clothing. Mariah is leaving the show.
He has exited.
So where is she going?
I don't know. Maybe